corpse in the basement have been tortured to death. Rumors going around about, in fact, there's some Dutchman who murders people.
The murderous Dutchman.
Murders Dutchman, murdering people.
Flies.
No flying.
It's
Okay, everybody can make me an idea check. Wait, not everybody. Shoot. Fuck, I don't remember who heard this information. I think it was you.
Just me?
Yeah, you're the one who talked to the innkeeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also a David Moore. The name comes to your mind that next morning.
Yeah,
David. Supposed to be in St. Mary's, you think. Or might be in St. Mary's.
The insane asylum.
The insane place?
Yes, the madhouse.
Is that
It
just
will
like
in later
rumor
years
that's
be
going
called
around?
Bedlam. No, that was what the innkeeper told me. Remember he made mention of Moore and that they had said, well, St. Mary's is good enough for him.
Yeah.
Do with that information what you will.
Okay.
Or you can throw it away for now and come back to it later, or never. Up to you.
Are we all together?
You guys could meet for breakfast the next morning.
Are you going to mention?
I'm thinking about it. Trying to think if my character thinks it's worthy information or not.
Right, and that's up to you.
Something that we didn't check out. When John Croft came in here and we were all crazy, right? And he scared some of the other people and they started leaving. The first person to leave was David Moore, a lyricist that had worked with Croft, and I also believe Marlowe in other iterations. He's now at St. Mary's of Bethlehem, you know, the insane for the crazies, you know, not so good up in the head.
This place.
Right.
Right.
I'm more concerned with William Shakespeare, but since he does have a connection to Croft, and what Croft was saying upset him enough that he left that one night, perhaps speaking with him might shed some light on something we've missed. I don't know.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yes, there was also mention in
It's actually
Marlowe's journal about
it's a different St. Mary's.
David Moore knowing this Joseph fella. So I think
That would
worth
make
checking
sense
out.
as to why.
Forgot about
That
that.
seems important.
It does.
How did we miss that?
Because there's a lot of names.
But
a lot of
it's on the other side of the river, right?
Yes. No. St. Mary's is on the north side of the river, up by Bishopsgate.
So
Oh yeah.
Yes, that map
Perhaps we
has a
should-
different St. Mary's.
should we split up? Some of us check it out, and some of us stay with Shakespeare.
I'm more
You could do
concerned
that.
with Shakespeare at the moment, but I do think finding out what this
How
Moore
much time do we have?
knows about it would be good.
3 hours until noon.
I'd like to go see more.
5
I
hours
promised
until the
Lucy I'd
play
get to
actually
the bottom
starts
of
at
this.
2.
Yeah. I think we have some time. I will win her over.
I will definitely go talk to this David fellow.
Oh, you saw there still.
David Moore. Who's going to see David Moore? You could all go. It's 5 hours till the play
Well,
starts.
if everyone's going, I guess I'll take along.
Oh, you sheep.
You sheep.
Alright. St. Mary's Lunatic Asylum is located about halfway up Bishopsgate Street on the left-hand side of the road as you head towards the gate itself. It's an imposing stone building, once a priory, but for the last 200 years, the city's madhouse, a repository for social outcasts, a virtual oubliette, in which the undesirable are left to rot.
What was that word?
Oubliette means a pit, usually with a little hatch on the top. It's a real word. Don't
I
look at me
wasn't.
like
I was
that.
excited. It was a cool word. I want to start.
There's no treatment in the hospital to speak of. Inmates are merely left in cells and wards, either roaming free or restrained if dangerous. And even if the inmates were not mad when committed, the horror of such a place is enough to drive the sanest over the edge. Getting into the asylum is easy. No appointment is necessary. Investigators can easily see the asylum's caretaker. Anybody wants to make me a credit rating roll can do so.
Yeah.
I'll do
Look
that.
at my terrible credit
I got
score.
a decent amount.
Did you make it?
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, I made it by a lot.
Oh, Dr.
Jesus.
Whitewood. Oh, Dr. Whitewood, it's so good to see you again.
I've probably
You've
recommended
probably
some
brought
patients
people
here.
here who are just like, So you made yours. Did you make yours?
I didn't bother.
You don't have to bother if you just want to stand in the background.
I did.
You made yours. Okay.
I didn't even roll.
All right.
I stood in the
You
back.
impress him with your aplomb, your fine clothing and that kind of thing.
Your pants legs.
Yeah, they're pretty nice.
And they're like, hey, yes. If you wish to see David Moore, well, come right this way. One of the caretakers takes you back that way. You're taken through a maze of corridors, many containing inmates. There is a profound discomfort associated with the place. Continual screams echo through the halls of the asylum, shaking even the hardiest of your sanity and putting all who enter on edge and in fear. The wards of the asylum are left to the inmates. No cleaning is performed. All the inhabitants are universally filthy and smell of excrement, and the smell of excrement and urine is heavy in the air, along with the smell of decay and the almost palpable insanity. Beds are merely pallets surrounded by filth and detritus. Rats are not uncommon in the ward areas. Indeed, it is the perfect breeding ground for the plague.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, we're all gonna die.
I bring up my scented
I need to
handkerchief
check
again.
The scented handkerchief, that will save me.
Well,
that's
like some
what they
sort of
thought.
thing. I can just go.
I feel like death.
Everybody can make me a sanity
My
check.
my wife already doused me in perfume. I made it.
Made it.
No.
No.
Oh no.
I'm dead.
No.
No, you guys are done.
You
You're
didn't
like,
make it?
nope, gone. You turn around, you walk
Yeah.
out. You're not even going to go in there. You just can't handle it. You don't lose any sanity, but the noise and the squalor, you laugh, and then you point at them and you
Smells too bad.
Okay.
Fairly well.
But for the disease, everything, these two just are like, done. And they just walk
Gross.
out. You two go find a tavern somewhere and get well and truly toasted.
Good.
You don't lose any sanity, but you're just like, oh my god. So you three managed to, you were brought to see David Moore. He rests in the corner of one of the long, noisy wards. He's dressed in rags that were once fashionable and well-tailored clothes. His face bears a hideous scar. Pass that.
Oh my gosh.
On the left-hand side, his mouth drawn into an awful smile, his cheek a scarlet knot of ugly scars, the cheekbone chiseled away
Let's see what he looks like.
by some horrible force, and his left eye reduced to a gaping socket. His face and hands are dirty, and he has no socks or stockings. His bare feet are filthy and bloodied. Sores are evident on his face and hands, and his hair has fallen out in thick clumps. He is wreathed in a rank smell of his own unsanitary ways and scratches fitfully at the fleas and mites that infest his person. I don't know what that is, but he hums constantly, a bewildering variety of airs and songs. The warden, who's there with you, says that he's listened to him on occasion, and he happily tells you that even though Moore is insane, he reckons him to be quite a marvel. He's listened to many of his tunes and says that no two are alike, and that none of the airs Moore sings are familiar to him. He says, I once listened to the madman compose a 20-minute song cycle as it came to him, singing first the main theme, and then the counter melodies designed for other instruments. It was quite marvelous, a rare treat, in which Moore started with a theme, expanded and modified that simple tune through many cycles, and eventually ended up with a reprise of the original theme.
Jolly good.
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
Will leave us be.
Roy, I'll be right over here. And Moore's just humming.
Master Moore.
The people who... Okay. Anybody have accounting or mathematics?
I had really good accounting.
I
I'm
know.
not there.
No.
Okay. Never mind then.
Collin, just say it today. Too bad he's not.
Except I'm
I
getting
have
toasted.
Master,
Yeah.
Persuade, and
Nope, those won't hold. Okay,
Master Moore. May we speak to you for a second? We have a moment of your time.
He's not real responsive. You can make,
Can I try saying something? Joseph Barker sent us. Oh, okay. I thought I had him.
Sent here
Okay.
by the Yellow King.
And that one stops him too, but then he keeps going with his little melodies. What you get is some garbled nonsense interspersed with sometimes pieces of worthwhile information, but it takes a long time to get out. You can try to make him more comfortable with an apothecary or medicine roll and a successful philosophy roll.
Here's some
I'll need
morphine.
both in order for this to work.
And philosophy?
Yeah.
Here's some cocaine.
Do it.
Woo!
It's the medicine.
Don't you
Did
talk
make
about
that? No, you didn't make either. Okay.
I need both!
Did you make both? Are you
Yes!
serious? Holy crap. Okay. It's going to take you a while to try to get
I was
any-
like, there's no
that
way
will
I'm
help.
making
That'll
this
have
fun.
this roll is what I'm going to do. Okay. It takes you an hour and a half of talking to this guy to get anything out of him worthwhile, because it's gibberish, or he's talking about angels or devils, or he's singing a song. Every once in a while you get a little information. Let's see.
That's twice I've
Okay.
paid 05 rolls.
Nice.
Yeah.
Here's what you learned. Here's what I'll put all together, all the information together over an hour and a half's time, which is really hard to stay that long in St. Mary's because it's awful here.
It smells so bad.
Apparently, while playing in an ensemble court in the early 1590s, Moore met Dr. John Dee. Everybody can make a knowledge check to see if you know who John Dee is. If you really know in real life, you can use that information.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
No check. Knowledge. You know Dr. John Dee. Do all three of you know him? Well, you know of him. He's a mathematician, classicist, occultist, crystal gazer, inventor, speculator, spy, astrologer, and queen's confidant.
The hell?
Yeah, he did everything. Born in 1527, he amassed one of the most famed libraries in the land. At its height, it contained more than 4,000 volumes. He was an innovator and a scholar. For knowledge, he refused to stop at the mundane, taking him into the arcane. He was referred to as Dr. Dee, the Great Conjurer, by his enemy John Fox. A little older than Elizabeth. He set the dates for Elizabeth's coordination by casting her fortune with astrology. He pressed for a foundation of the Office of Public Records, and when turned down by Queen Mary before Elizabeth founded his own. He went in 1583. He left London for a tour of the continent in company of Irishman Edward Kelly. Kelly was a dubious character, and they used crystals in order to talk to angels. He has since returned to England and lives in England now. Anyway, that's what you know about John Dee. So, anyway, Moore engaged Dee in conversation. Dee became interested in Moore's claims that much of his inspiration came to him in dreams. Dee told Moore of his Enochian language, which is the language of angels, which Kelly would translate words from the crystals that he saw, and then Dee would transcribe them down. And Moore pressed Dee to let him sit him on one of the contact sessions, reasoning that angelic inspiration while awake could be more productive than his morphine muse, because he got all his ideas in his sleep. Moore quickly tired of the sessions, and Dee invited him to. But having met two men, Joseph, a student of Dr. Dee's, and Edward, the good doctor's companion at Dee's sessions, he pursued his crystal gazing more vigorously in their company. Edward, who thought it farcical, left, and Moore joined a company composed of Joseph, a Dutchman named Johann, a writer, Christopher, and others, using larger, more powerful crystals for closer and closer contact, until the group was first visited by an entity known as the King in Yellow. The King in Yellow! Okay.
Not again.
Then at a new location somewhere in London, he does not know where because all participants were blindfolded before being brought in, they summoned an unspeakable monstrosity which slid from a thick, sludgy, silvery ooze to take its victims. The results left him with an unimaginable inspiration, which he could hardly contain. He couldn't sleep for the volume of ideas that sprang to his mind. Christopher was eventually killed, but Moore could not stay away until last year when he finally slipped over the edge at a meeting with Joseph in the Mermaid Inn. He begged to be left alone. Joseph refused and practically carried him out of the tavern. Before Joseph could do anything else, Moore tried to kill him, shooting him in the chest before putting another pistol in his own mouth and pulling the trigger. He survived trying to kill himself, obviously from all of this. He was arrested. He ended up at St. Mary's, and he's been there ever since.
My God.
Now this takes an hour and a half of just, and some of the stuff's out of order, but you kind of all put it together eventually.
That's all we're able to get from it.
Yes.
I'm gonna leave because it smells like shit in here.
Yes.
You leave.
You smell like shit.
We're almost at 6 o'clock.
This place smells like garbage.
Do you guys want to stop here?
What do
Before
think?
you go back to the globe, we'll have to do a second part in a couple weeks, probably.
Probably.
I won't be here.
You won't be here. No.
Abigail just shows up at St. Mary's
Abigail.
and just like, you're coming home.
No, Abigail. She's devoted.
How much longer do you think we have?
You guys are only probably about halfway through, although you've gotten most of the information, but combat usually takes a while, I found.
That's true.
So if you guys get into any kind of combat situation, we're talking a few more hours, at least 2 or 3 more hours probably.
Looks like we're gonna wait.
But we could stop here before you go to Hamlet tonight,
Mm.
and we can pick up there next time.
I mean, that's probably the best stop.
Next
And I'm
time.
sorry, Ashton, that
What?
sucks. If you're
Yeah.
not going to be here in 2 weeks,
No.
she's going to Europe.
Oh, exciting.
I don't feel
What?
too bad.
2nd to June 23rd.
Okay, so you guys leave St. Mary's, and it's what time is it? 10. It's like 10:30. So you guys could proceed next game session to go see him.
General it.
And that's the one.
We'll take.
Nice.
Oh, comments, questions, suggestions. What did you think so far?
I like this
Pretty
one.
awesome. Even though there was no combat, it was really fun.
Usually,
I do
the
like
early
the
part of the investigation is usually almost entirely just investigating.
Yeah, no, I felt like it was more interesting this time too.
Then
Sometimes when there is no combat, like there was no downtime. There was no meandering us doing nothing.
no, you guys
We were
stayed
always
on
doing
task a lot,
something.
and there's just so much to this scenario. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh my god, so many names.
When
Yeah,
we
we'll keep
get-
that. We'll keep that.
When we get off task,
I
is when
liked
it gets
that.
bad.
That was good. Yeah, and
You want all the
you won't
games
increase your
and
stuff
everything?
until after the end of the scenario, but you'll be able to get your stuff up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put these character sheets right here at the beginning of the King of Shreds and Patches. Next weekend, next weekend's Memorial Day weekend. Is anybody going to be available to play any games next weekend? Because I was thinking about trying to start Dungeons and Dragons next week.
I don't know, just because I don't know what my animation plans are.
Are you going to animation?
I don't know if I am.
Okay.
Come, come.
What I might do is I might go ahead and plan a game session of D&D. You'll be around. And then see who actually says, and if we can at least get a few people, I can always.
I
we can
might
always
be
mess
able
around.
to.
It's not
Okay.
hard to
Do
jump
you
into
want
D&D
a
anyways.
scrap sheet with this stuff on it or no?
Yes.
You say it's not hard.
Yeah,
D&D,
like,
not when you're low level. When you're all starting out.
just like, hey, I'm an adventurer like you.
We're gonna
Here I am.
All right, so let's start.
Here I am.
Oh, hi, join our team. Alright.
And